Just a few moments ago, the toss of the coin, and Matthew Pavlich has done the righty in the East Fremantle strip, kicking to the left of screen. There's Michael O'Loughlin, who breaks the club record. It's a massive achievement, isn't it?
Well, huge achievement. And as we've mentioned, milestones just littered throughout the Sydney Swans side this afternoon. And they do play for each other. There's great spirit in that club. So there are a lot of subplots in this game here today.
You get the feeling that this is almost the last chance for Fremantle, but if they win this one, they're away. Let's go to the SCG.
200 full house here despite the rainy afternoon, and we're underway. Kirk from the wing towards half forward. Hall back into the team this week, overruns it. Goods with his first touch. Parker couldn't pick it up. O'Loughlin off the deck, through for a behind.
Well, it's interesting in these conditions, Ellis. They've actually started with Everett forward. One ruckman, Sandling's on the ground for Freo, but Everett playing as a forward pocket.
Quick kick in. Sandlin's back. Kept him into the team even though it's going to be a rainy afternoon. Didn't go too tall. Headland, good game last week, missed this one. Pavlich, nice tackle. Barry got it up. Fosdyke caught, dumped, and too high according to the umpire. Free kick at half back. There's Headland. 5 goals, 2 last week.
It'll be a really good test for, I think, the Fremantle Dockers today. They've set themselves to make the finals this year and go better, but they're taking on a quality opposition. Now, it'll be tough conditions. Probably most will see this as going to favour the Sydney Swans with a lot of stoppages. So a great test for both teams.
Nice mark to O'Keefe. Had 2 to beat Ablett. Still on the wing. Corralled by Carr. Caught by Carr. Almost gone. Umpire said it was okay. Schneider dropped it. Slippery ball at the moment. Ablett wobbles it inside 50. Everett, all-star milestone for him this afternoon. Peter Everett, his 300th game all up. Hall gives off to Malcheski. Way wide. A behind.
You'd hope so.
Matthews from 50. Nice kick off the boot. Can't thread it.
That's
another behind.
Interesting point. I think the budget wouldn't allow that, I don't think, Dwayne.
It would be an extra penalty for kicking a point if they'd grabbed a nice old soggy one out of the bin.
Well, some say the new balls are harder to kick because they're hard on the ends. The brand new ones that haven't been kicked in, depending on who you believe, of course. Johnson, Headland, caught by Dempster, rolled straight to Everett, handball to O'Loughlin. Chips the kick, inside 50, and the mark taken by Schneider. Best on ground the last time these two teams met for premiership points.
You saw then, once again, the class of O'Loughlin to not blaze away forward, which was always a chance.
Plays on quickly to the man of the moment, Michael O'Loughlin. As Schneider got the Brownlow votes, the 3 Brownlow votes in round 13 here at the SCG last year. These two teams also met in the prelim final last year, but not here. It was at Telstra Stadium. And Michael O'Loughlin in game number 261, the new games record holder for the Sydney Swans, and almost appropriate that he's wearing a heritage jumper to do it. For the first goal of the afternoon. From the paint, good kick off the boot. If it's got the carry, there's some serendipity to that. O'Loughlin, the first goal. Shane Parker sends it long. It's a wobbler. Tough one to mark. Fist. Danger here. Kick smothered off Warnock's boot. Still alive. Rolling towards the goal square. Bell plays for the free. Farmer it was, in fact. Doesn't get it.
Called a free kick. Over the shoulder to the Dockers.
It is Farmer's free.
He's happy for that one.
He caught it right.
So they allowed a little play onto advantage today just to see if it came out. And whether or not Ablett was diving into the ball with Farmer, and they just collided. But Jeffrey Farmer coming off 4 goals 2 last week in game number 2 for the year, kicks the opener for Fremantle.
Important start for the Sydney Swans. Back up with the tempos the way they were in that first quarter. Some key stats, some of the superstars for the Swans. Goods 5, O'Loughlin 7, Schneider had 8. Headland was 6 for the Fremantle Dockers, and one of their live wires, Farmer, had 5 and kicked 1 goal 1.
Ball to the wing. Malcheski kicks around the body. Davis can't get back on it. Good contest. McFarlane. Davis caught by Dodd. O'Keefe toward Barry Hall. Comes hard, takes the mark.
That's good, hard lead. The ball was dropping rapidly, and we've just seen a couple of uncharacteristic Barry Hall drops over recent weeks where he's dropped those chest marks, and that can be through fatigue or injury issues, but steamed out, solid chest mark. And once again, we touched on the first quarter. This is early in the quarter. The ball will be dry, so shouldn't be too heavy and affect the kick too much.
Big kick this for Barry Hall from 50. Starts it right, brings it back. Perfect kick from Barry Hall. In driving rain now here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Carr dumps it back. Kirk. Davis, nowhere to go. All the way back to Leo Barry. Left it behind. Solomon drags him off it. Solomon back in. Can't get a handball out decisively to a teammate. Tarrant. Little push. Back into the middle of it. Solomon gets it out to Tarrant. Black. Not a lot to go to. Hands off to Mundy from the left foot. Sizes them up. Pavlich on the line. Takes the mark.
Takes the mark. He just got rid of Craig Bolton. The ball was going deep. It was one of those ones, do you let it go or not? And I must admit, I'll support him here. You've got,
well, you're a forward, of course you support him.
If it's there, you've got to mark it.
And Pavlich drives it home. They're back. Malcheski. Half-back flank. Dempster. And now Davis. Not a lot to go too long. It's around Hazelby. Spears it towards half forward. Good punch down by McFarlane. Couldn't find a teammate with it though. Schneider to Kirk. Pokes it inside 50. O'Loughlin getting back. Barry Hall with the boundary line looming. O'Loughlin tries to keep it in. O'Keefe through Hall's hands. Kirk didn't want to have a crack at it. Back to O'Keefe. Left foot kick. Good off the boot. Drifting a little, but it's there. Equals second and the best and fairest last year behind the Brownlow medalist Adam Goods. Coming off a very good season. Was the Jim Steins medalist as well in Australia's International Rules Tour. Sandlands inside 50 towards Farmer. Off hands. Headland left it behind. Pavlich gathers nicely. Sells the dummy. Pokes the pass.
Nice work.
Tarrant takes the mark. 35 out.
Oh, how good was that, Alistair? I mean, he could have gone round, sold the dummy to his opponent, came back inside. A little dink over the top in these conditions. That is just a very skillful act.
It was a skillful act, and also to keep his feet. I mean, he could have gone to ground there in these sort of slippery conditions. This man needs a good start, needs to flush one.
Nice off the left. Straight through the middle for Chris Tarrant. That'll make him feel better. They might inherit the earth, but they won't win this game, the Meek. And Solomon's certainly not that. Mundy. Dempster shrugs the attempted tackle, dragged down. Good tackle by Shammer. McFarlane to Hayden. Slippery ball, tough for Sandlands. Still gets it inside 50. Headland, hands on it, can't mark it. Off hands Kennelly, caught by Farmer. Fosdyke misses Bevan. Bell through traffic. Headland gets the snap away. This would give them the lead. He's got it. Fremantle in front. Well, Hall's now got 25 goals, 16, and O'Loughlin's got 24 goals, 5. McManus, that's for the year. Short pass. Everett cuts it off.
I think with the Hall one, I mean, if he's had, he's obviously had groin problems all year. It's amazing if you've got soreness through that groin or that hip region, you lose a lot of confidence in kicking through the ball. And he's not missing by much, but the confidence not kicking right through it has been enough to miss the goals.
Bevan to Fosdyke to O'Keefe. Hall's scoring for it back in the square. O'Keefe could go all the way. On the left. Loads up. It's long, but it's not strong. Are behind, but they're in front.
Well, Anthony Graver read that pretty well, didn't he? Get back. I thought it was home and home.
Hayden to Black. Across the defensive goal. Back to Hayden. He can run here. touch it on the ground if he wants. O'Loughlin's now coming at him. He waited for O'Loughlin, then got the kick away straight to Schneider. No one in the goal square for Schneider. High kick. Davis gets back. He's got two to beat. Almost beats them both. McVeigh overran it. Tried to tap it back to Davis. McVeigh, Schneider, should from there. Does from there. Johnson kick towards half forward. Bell. Free kick. Crowd not happy. Peter Bell is.
I think Ben Matthews would be very happy at all.
Thornton inside 50. Big kick this. Very had a lot of the ball in the last 5 minutes, have they?
No, it's gone very much the Sydney Swans way. It's all been played in the Swans forward 50 over the last 5 minutes, but haven't been able to capitalise too many times. You see Bell there.
Well, the ball was knocked out in the tackle. It should have been a play on, which they've done for most of the day, really.
7th season of football at the Dockers for Scott Thornton. Game number 48. And he sends it through. Timely goal for him and his team. Bevan. Caught. Davis. Ted Richards. Matthew Carr can't collect it. Lays a high tackle on Fosdyke. Jolly. Play onto advantage. Rolling ball. Solomon trapped it nicely. Read it off the bounce. Sandilands. And now Parker in that 49. Long. Farmer. Looming. Got it. At the top of the square.
That was well done. It was good vision from Parker to know where to kick the ball. But as we touched on the first half, Jeff Farmer turns his opponent so well, and he was running back towards the space that the Dockers forwards had deliberately left. Obviously an instruction from the match committee up in the coach's box. Leave the forward 20 open and run back hard to get on the end of it.
For his second, Jeffrey Farmer. Made the goal umpire work, but the Dockers are in front. And the ball in. McManus stumped it down to O'Keefe. Straight up in the air. And not 15. Matthew Carr told to play on and kicks toward Adam Goods over his head. Thornton made a contest. Kennelly the crumb. Thornton went to ground. All the way back to Leo Barry. Who, for a first, doesn't play on immediately. Craig Bolton. Caught. Kick away. Fortuitously lands in the arms of Schneider.
And that's how important it is for forwards to be in front. When it looks like there's going to be a kick hastily sent forward, just got to take front position just in case, especially in these conditions. It comes off the side of the boot. As with Craig Bolton, he's lucky to get a boot to it, but falls down to his teammate. And this man knows where the goals are.
Certainly does. It's kick one this afternoon, and this to give the Swans back the lead in the shadows of three-quarter time. We've played 19 minutes. It'll be a short quarter from 42. Didn't like it off the boot. Another behind. The Sydney Swans have kicked 4 goals, 14. 42 plays 38.
The forward 50 entries have evened up.
Mundy's turned it over from the kick in. Kirk, this time the Swans are in front. The crowd are up. Possession number 15 for Brett Kirk. He's having a spell. They've been rotating heavily off the bench, the Swans. From the ball up. Crowd chanting Sydney. 5 minutes to three-quarter time. Quick kick, Mount Chesky inside 50. O'Keefe had it but lost it. Richards back to O'Keefe. Gets away from Dodd. Slips it to full forward. Schmidt's down there. Little push into the back of Johnson. Off the deck. Goal! 2 in a minute. Mundy entrusted with the kick in again. This time it might work. Bell couldn't collect it. Shammer does. Dangerous kick. Comes off. Sandilands has a run. Pumps a long bomb. Inside 50 towards Tarrant. Couldn't take the mark. Goods off hands. Schmidt will get there first with some space. Little Shepherd from Fosdyke. Dempster.
Good pass. It was the only option forward.
Bevan. Long towards full forward. Back of the pack. Mundy can drag it through for a behind. Elects not to. Keeps it alive. Malcheski to cut it off. 60 from goal. Slips the pass to Jude Bolton.
It's just you'd expect this. I mean, we're quoting at half-time. We thought the Swans might take this away, but it's their habitual play. This is the natural way. Doesn't matter what the conditions are. Close it up, tough inside, get a good result by creating from clearances. You'd expect them to go on with it from here.
45-degree angle, and he likes it off the boot. Sensational kick in these conditions. Sandlin's front spot with the fist toward the boundary, and
That's a free kick
out
out.
of play on the full. Didn't look like he meant it either. Kick, a wobbler inside 50. O'Keefe traps it, shrugs, shorts. O'Loughlin, that'll make him happier.
Class from O'Keefe. The way he took possession of the ball to start with, then found a way to face towards his goals, and then the decision to find and the execution to hit O'Loughlin was fantastic. That's why he's an All-Australian forward. Because he's got that class, plus enormous amount of work ethic.
You don't need to go to the ballet or the ice skating, do you, to see the movements, the foot movements of our game?
He's got a bit of grace.
Poise, grace.
Three-quarter time siren sounded. Michael O'Loughlin's already kicked one in his record-breaking game, and he slides home another. And at three-quarter time here at the SCG, the man of the moment, Michael O'Loughlin, has given the Swans the biggest break of the afternoon so far. 23 points to margin at three-quarter time, thanks to Mickey O's second. 8:17.65 to 6:6.42.
And Farmer coming off too, Lynchy.
Sandlin's front spot. McManus dragged down by Jolly. Peter Bell, can he inspire them? Sends it towards Pavlich. Flies. 3 to beat yet again for Matthew Pavlich. Solomon caught by Kennelly and dumped. Kirk over it. Stolen again by Solomon. Got a little push. Pavlich. Kirk. Davis rolled his ankle earlier today, but looks okay now. And we'll get a ball up at half forward for the Dockers. Rowan.
Well, Jeff Farmer's just come off again, as you said, boys. He was struggling in that third quarter with the groin problem. I dare say that he won't come back on for the rest of this game.
Umpire simply said, get on with it, boys, and Schneider gets the free on the wing. Barry Hall leads short. Good pass. He couldn't get out of the way of that one.
Woods has run hard all the way from the back half, and it's 50-metre penalty or a free kick off the ball. Is it to Mickey O'Loughlin at the top of the goal square?
Well, this will just about be game over.
No, actually, I think it's 50.
What happens there is that it is just a 50, even though the free, I'm sure you called it right, was off the ball in the goal square. So
must have been a 50-metre penalty for something. Otherwise, it would have gone to Mickey O'Loughlin.
Barry Hall kicks goal number 2, and it might be game over. Parker inside 50. Solomon. Jude Bolton. Solomon shovels it out. Pavlich can go off the ground and gives them a glimmer of hope. 2-goal afternoon for Matthew Pavlich. 43 for the season now. Chris Connolly. Trying to make the moves to change the momentum of this game, but time's running out. Black. Handball finds Johnson. Scott McManus hits him with the pass.
50.
It is. So McManus will have a shot from about 40 out.
Once the decision has been made for the mark or the free kick, if you're not in the contest, you cannot come in and claim the player, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. And McManus will have a shot on goal from 30 metres out, all but dead in front.
well, let's hope he puts it away, because that would just resurrect them a little bit, give them a bit of a sniff. We might get a better contest from here on to the finish.
Sean McManus is one of those players who is at an age where he can see his chances of winning a flag quickly slipping away, and he keeps them alive in this. Not sure what happened there, but
Someone's popped up out of the ground, ankle tapped him there.
holes out there somewhere. Long kick from Dodd to half forward. Good mark in front of Everett by Warnock. Chance here for the Dockers. Parker McManus from the pocket.
Home.
Magnificent kick. They've got a sniff. Ablett and McManus side by side. He could be the key. He's already kicked 2 in this term. Ball in. Slipped down towards McManus. Couldn't trap it. Parker half held. Davis stole it. Kicked it in the Hall direction. He has a wrestle with Grover, and the free will go to Barry Hall.
Well, I'd like to think I'm pretty impartial, but both players were wrestling each other. Just like to see the replay here. But I know Barry Hall, he says that he probably gets the raw.
Had a bit of jumper there, Barry Hall.
Yeah, a bit each way. I reckon play on there.
What the umpire was saying to Grover, that Grover was facing Hall and not really going for the ball. That's what he said to him in the finish, but Grover was hardly dealt with.
Barry Hall for goal number 3. Shuts the gate a little. Had he taken possession and gone forward, there would have been a chance to score. They had their forward line open. Goods sends it wide. Schmidt tucked up against the boundary line. 21 points, 6.5 minutes. Kirk doesn't want to have a shot. Short. O'Keefe, and this is for the game.
He's a machine, Kirk, isn't he? I mean, he's worked to get there, past the player with the ball, and 30 or 40 metres ahead of him, well inside 50, take it easily and square it up to his mate. I mean, he's got to be the, equally the hardest working player in the competition.
There was due a bit of luck or karma. He was the last man to introduce the Dalai Lama in his Australian visit a couple of weeks ago, Brett Kirk, here in Sydney. Good things come. O'Keefe kicks the goal, and the Swans are home. McVeigh pumps it wide. Kirk with him, Hazelby. Kirk caught, could tackle Hayden. Hazelby, Josh Carr, McManus. Schneider again. Josh Carr taps it away, gets the kick. It'll count. Shammer. Pavlich, and he takes the mark on the line, on the paint of the 50-metre arc, and can maybe have the last shot of the game.
It's been a hard day for any forward, but certainly Pavlich with the matchup on Bolton, and it took a precise pass to hit him, basically lace out. It was a bit low, but he got there, made up some good ground to take a good chest mark, but tough conditions in the air.
So on the siren, Matthew Pavlich for goal number 3. Percentage might be a factor at the end of the year as to whether they make the 8 or not. It's a behind. And on milestone day, Michael O'Loughlin, embraced by a man who is part of the heart and soul of this great football club as well, Brett Kirk. Schneider comes in. The new games record holder for the Sydney Swans, Michael O'Loughlin, in game number 261, can celebrate with a victory, as can Adam Goods in his 200th game for the Swans this afternoon. Sean McManus congratulates Mickey O, Ablett in there, and Barry Hall. It'll be a big night for the Swans tonight. Not only a win for their milestone games, don't forget Everett's 300th and Dempster's 50th, but also they're back in contention, the Swans. This was a big victory this afternoon. It was 10th versus 11th, and they're now 1 win away from 5th spot on the ladder. So all of a sudden the team that's played the last 2 AFL Grand Finals, with Carlton to play here at the SCG next week, are back in the reckoning.
There's a